Yo, I'm so excited to see you. I can totally see that you are just ready. Like, you look like you've leveled up a lot. So, honestly, welcome. I started this so that we can level up even more together. All right, as the creators of our reality, the way we bend these elements, fire, water, air, and earth, the way we use numbers, really important. And I'm about to be sharing the way I like to use them with you. I'm your boy Thoth, in case you were not aware, also known as Hermes, CymaTree, Chiquetet, so many names. It's just important for you to know that we all start out as zero. We're all spirits, and we're all creating infinity together. Let's do it more consciously. Next episode, covering zero. It's gonna be awesome. Let's go. First episode of the Building Blocks of Life. We're in here. It's your boy Tehuti, aka CymaTree, and we are dedicating this episode to our hero, Zero. So Zero is here to remind us that everything, all things in existence, come from nothing, one way or another. This is why most people can find it to be a wild insult if you tell them that they're nothing, because most spirits are truly scared to return to that nothing state. Because zero is a representation of the spirit, it is also a representation of space, of truly nothing. Like, we can't even imagine nothing. That is zero. This is why zero is an amplifier. Would you rather me give you $1, $10, $100, or $1,000? And why? Yeah, baby, what's Gucci? This is your boy Hermes, aka CymaTree, and we are back with the building blocks of life. Last episode, we talked about zero and how zero represents the spirit, your spirit, aka no thing, unimaginable, empty space. You can have millions, just millions of zeros at your disposal, but if they're not supporting a natural number, then they're amounting to, say it with me, kids, nothing. When zero expresses itself, it looks like one. Zero is a spirit, one is the ego. One is the idea. One is that zero's unique imagination. One shows us that true spirituality is individuality. Therefore, one represents fire, because it is the passionate light a spirit must create in order to experience itself. Anything fire touches gets transformed into the image of that fire, and thus loses its own individuality. The ego is the same way. Colonialism functions by transforming substances in the environment to meet its individual needs. Now that we've explored all this about one, we're about to get into the next video where we're going to see what happens when this one wants to connect and relate with the imaginative dream that it is created to experience its fiery desires. What is Gucci? This is your boy Tehuti with the booty, aka the cutie, kinda goofy, and today we're talking about 2D, dimensional, reality, aka the feeling. To connect with itself, the zero will create another one. So it has two number one flames, and it will cool these down and merge it into water. Since these flames are meant to be opposite, the water that results is polarized, hence a masculine and feminine type energy. The water that embodies the polarity of two opposite flames allows the spirit to experience the fullest spectrum of itself between these two things. Once the spirit has learned how to reflect itself back to itself, its opposite, in a harmonious way, it is now ready to do that with others. So then that is how other spirits connect. And this is how water physically forms. And this would be how we create Earth, or just planets in general. It's all about feeling like connecting with spirits outside of yourself. This is why, too, water is representative of the soul, feelings, and duality. 2 teaches us that everything in existence functions on the polarity of being created from the extreme opposite of masculine and the other extreme opposite of feminine. What happens when two wants to communicate? Find out next time on the Building Blocks of Life. Last time on the Building Blocks of Life, we covered how two represents water, aka feeling like you want to relate with another spirit, aka polarity, yin and yang joining together. So how do yin and yang combine? What do spirits do when they want to relate their imagination with others? They must communicate, is the chi, the air, the essence that connects all bodies of water and fire in the universe. This is why 3 is perfectly balanced, like air, which is the true sea. As in 3 is always sea, for everything is underwater. Swimming in different densities of water, aka internalized water, that becomes externalized air. Next episode, we will cover what happens when this air wants to settle down. No thing 0 becomes a single flame, which then creates an opposite flame when it desires to cool down into a body of water and relate with itself and others. When this flame and fire meet, it creates the 3, aka the sea that all worlds are floating in different densities of. 4 represents Earth, aka the box. 4 is judgment. When a spirit observes that the universe is completely connected, it can then use logic to create the separation that allows the creation of structures for other spirits who resonate with their desires to be able to connect, relate, and ascend more consciously in that plane. This is why 4 is about using logic to judge your environment. This allows you to use Earth to build the practical structures in relation to said environment, which express your spiritual individuality. These 4 elements, all suspended in no thing, cycle and form together to create plasma, aka blood. This is why blood represents death, aka transformation. That's why we call the death realm the 5 cycle realm, because all 5 cycle reality is some cycling of these 5 elements, which are, again, fire, water, air, earth, and spirit. Whew! Halfway through the number line, now we know how to use these numbers to die to 5, aka to 5, aka to transform more consciously. In the next video, it might get a little freaky because we're about to be talking about 6. Yo, what's Gucci? It is your boy Hermes, aka Thoth, aka CymaTree, and we are back. I told you it was about to get a little nasty today, baby, and that's because we're talking about 6. What is 6? 6 is basically the epitome of creation. 6 is what happens when a 5 becomes aware and in control of its own transformation, aka the physical world. 6 is individual creation on this magnitude, hence the I. Change that I into an E, and you've got sex, the unification of 2 equally opposite and harmonious energies, yang and yin, positive, negative, masculine, feminine, light and dark, that kind of thing. So after spirits work together to create this 5 cycle realm, they can then use their individual 6 to ignite the collective sex inside of that 5 cycle realm, which allows them to create a body which expresses their 7, aka their individual thought. Send me to heaven, 7. I'm back from the 7th dimension, and I'm here to share my thoughts for the benefit of our ascension. I'm Tehuti with the booty, and last time we talked about how zeros, spirits, use 1, 2, 3, and 4 to create 5 cycle reality. From there, Two equally harmonious yet opposite threes come together and create a body through sex, which a spirit then uses their six to inhabit that seven. Boom, your body in this 5-cycle realm, created through six, is your seven, your tool to experience yourself here. Your seven is your light body, your thought that cuts through what has already been created. This is what it means to be a Lucifer or a light bearer, which we are all doing. We are all bearing these light bodies so that we can experience ourselves inside of a light projection. So when you create this body as an individual thought, it then requires some animation. Next episode, we'll talk about what happens when a spirit wants to generate enough emotion to use his body to get out of the world it created in. Boom, we're back. We're in a body. It feels so good to be a light-bearing Lucifer. But of course, let's not get lost in all these fiery desires like a Holy Spirit would. Our light is only as good as the darkness it is created from, which is what 8 shows us. Now, how do we use our severing 7 to carve reality into our image? In order for a spirit, a 0, to use its 7 body that was created through the act of 66 in 5-cycle reality, it must project its consciousness into and then start matching and reflecting the vibrations of the body of water that it chose to be in. So a spirit inside of a 0 starts to become a 9 when they can generate enough hate for the world, the vibration that they're currently riding in, to the point of being able to cultivate their own soul, individual perspective of the waters, the feeling. This is how 8 will levitate your 7 into heaven by creating a infinite bridge between the physical and spiritual realm. You are simultaneously able to take your experiences from that world into your spirit, and then also bring your spirit into that world, which in Egypt we would call bringing heaven to earth. Woo! We are on the final number in all of existence, baby. 999. To animate their 7-body instrument, spirits must project their soul feeling into it. Once that spirit is in the world, 8 becomes hate, which makes them great and allows them to levitate their 7 into heaven. Before there's a heaven or a Hev 10 to be an individual in, the spirit uses the 8 to merge their light body inside the world with their spirit body outside the world, so that they can rapture themselves out of the simulation and become a fully ascended being. This is why 9 looks like a line. It's the individual one imagination flame that was using the body to accumulate experiences in that world, getting to leave on its own accord to join the 0 spirit that created it in order to become a fully 9-dimensional being. Let's recap.